The energy there was unmatched and incomparable to any other, making learning transformational and making life into a special one. There's a level of self-discovery and freedom from the everyday there. Even though we used San Francisco as our classroom, I was able to be myself and let myself be free to express my emotions and enjoy things I thought I wouldn't. I've never been so emotional before. I cried when San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus sang to us, and I cried when Lala told us that she hasn't moved this much in years, and we were the reason why. I've never been so infuriated by Alcatraz's erasure of queer history, especially since as a national park, one of its main goals is to save and preserve the history of Alcatraz. I guess that didn't apply to the 12 men sent there before Alcatraz opened on courts of sodomy charges. Of course, San Francisco is also beautiful. The view of the Golden Gate off the Presidio and the tunnel tops, even the streets helped form my romanticization of San Francisco, despite all the hills. My romanticism was cut short by the gentrification and modernization of some areas in San Francisco. It made SF lose what I thought made it so special. Flying there, I had these crazy expectations about what San Francisco would be like. Cruising down Polk Street, the lively gay bars and clubs, dancing until the morning sun rose. Alvin's book had more of an impact on me than I first realized. I guess I also failed to realize that Disaster Alma happened nearly 50 years ago, and while true then, it isn't today. That history's gone, left to be reserved in places like Alvin's books. When talking to Alvin, and even the older queer population in general, a lot of them echoed the same thoughts that I was having. Most came to San Francisco in the early 1970s for the queer culture and nightlife to thrive, only to be met by the HIV/AIDS epidemic and the city that would lose its charm years later. The only reason they stayed was to be with the community that they formed. This included me because events I had hyped up in my mind like the Castro Art Mart were less than I expected. I missed a small drag show, and I started to feel really bad when I realized that a large percentage of the people that the vendors talked to that day were just silly little college students who really had no idea of the culture that was going on there. Of course, I'll still be eternally grateful and thankful for this experience. Between learning about the history and part of my identity, I think I learned how to let myself be free and take advantage of opportunities. If Chloe and I hadn't talked to Marianne on the Mooney, we wouldn't have met the amazing Angelina or learned about Valencia Street's history as the lesbian Castro in the 90s. Or met Manny, who runs a political meeting space at Triple Zaza Cafe, bookstore, and event center. He worked on the Obama and Hillary Clinton campaigns and was a White House intern. What about Greg, who hosts the longtime HIV/AIDS Survivor Dinner monthly and Pride Revivals in June? And of course Lala, who stands as a proud trans woman and has bestowed all of her knowledge upon us. Intertwined with great moments, laughter, crying, even anger, I've learned more here than in any traditional classroom could ever imagine.